You know who I can do without? I can do without the people in the video store.
Which ones?
All of them.
This is Massive Late Fee with Mike and Mark.
Well, hello everyone. Welcome back to Massive Late Fee. My name is Mark. With me, as always, is my co-host Mike. How you doing, Mike?
Not too bad. And yourself?
Good. Things are good here. We've had a good week at Massive Late Fee. Lots of cool stuff are going on in the world of entertainment and in the world of our living rooms. But anyway, so news. I guess the big news, or some of the big news, is there's some news that you won't care about, Mike, and then there's some news that you might care about. But Star Wars released what they're calling their final trailer. I don't know. The movie doesn't come out till December. I guess it's possible because it is already almost November. But they say this is the final trailer. I'm gonna guess you haven't seen it, Mike.
No.
Yeah, I don't know. There's a lot of new footage, but mostly it just is like looks like I'm Rey and I'm fighting with Kylo, and the Emperor's back because why not? Now, Mike,
Yeah, they probably already have the mold for those toys, so it's just a simple matter of adding the character, and there you go.
yeah, exactly. Now, I know you haven't seen the new movies. I'm gonna guess you're not gonna see this.
No.
Yeah. So that's it's funny too because they did Adam Driver did he plays Kylo Ren, who is the bad guy, Darth Vader too, and he said that Kylo Ren is the son of religious zealots, which I think is a little weird because he's talking about Han Solo and Leia. And I guess, maybe I could see it with Leia, sort of, although I don't really get that vibe from her either. But Han Solo, not at all in the original movies was like, this is all hooey and stuff. So I don't see that at all. Now maybe.
Yeah, I don't know how I'm going to sleep tonight.
Yeah, exactly. Maybe Luke, I guess, could be considered, and the Jedis. I could see them as religious zealots, but not as parents. I don't think he understands. He doesn't know Star Wars.
Are Jedi allowed to have sex?
I don't think they were in the prequels, but then I don't know. I don't know. It's all up in the air.
I guess when your audience is 8 years old, you really don't address that sort of situation, huh?
Yeah. Well, not unless you're George Lucas in the prequels.
Yeah, I don't know. I did. I guess I don't think it was the. I did see the prequels, which were very bad. They got worse each one.
Yeah.
And that's saying something because the first one was not. I didn't think that. I'm not a Star Wars fan, so I wasn't as bothered by the first one as most people. I thought the Jar Jar Binks character was stupid, but there was some pretty cool fights and stuff, I thought.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I don't know. It doesn't. How is she You're saying she's his daughter or something?
No, Kylo Ren is the son of Princess.
Oh, I thought that was Luke Skywalker's daughter. That's a guy, is what you're saying, Kylo Ren.
Yeah, it's a dude.
Okay, yeah, I guess that makes sense, or does it make sense?
But the story that you might be interested in is that now have you seen many of the Fast and Furious movies?
No, I saw the first one, and it was a really bad ripoff of Point Break, so I didn't see any of the other ones.
Yeah, the first one was the only one I saw, but apparently they got bad and then they got good again. I guess it's
how are they good in the first place?
I don't know, but it's all subjective, I suppose. But I guess by the fifth one, they got so insane that they got better than they originally were. I don't know.
Don't people say that happened with the Mission Impossible movies? They got a lot better. Because I gave up on the second or third one because it was just not very good. But I heard they got really good. I don't know if that's true. I haven't bothered to watch them. Have you?
No, I saw the most recent one, which was fine. I thought it was okay. But I didn't see. I've seen the first one and the most recent one. Those are the only two I've seen. But I heard the same thing. J.J. Abrams came in and directed one of them, and then I think Christopher McQuarrie directed a couple of them.
Didn't like Sam Mendes direct one of them?
Maybe,
Or is that James Bond? I think it may be James Bond. I'm thinking of.
that could be. I'm not sure. But anyway, so the Fast and the Furious movies. One of the writers has met with Keanu Reeves about a possible role in a Fast and Furious movie.
No, thank you.
I mean, as much as I love Keanu Reeves,
I don't want him to turn into Robert De Niro, where he's like suddenly I'm like, oh, okay, he's like not in all. I mean, obviously he was never really always in serious movies, but it's like, okay, this isn't like a strict action movie, It's and then he like kind of parlays until he's like, Ben Stiller's brother-in-law and like Meet the Fockers like Part 6 or whatever.
right? Ugh.
I'm really looking forward to The Irishman with Robert De Niro because it's nice to see him in a good role. I mean, I assume it's good. Martin Scorsese, is involved. But I don't understand it. That's so. I hate when an actor that I like just does garbage, and then I mean it's clearly just for a paycheck.
Yeah, absolutely. It's funny. I can't believe that I neglected to mention last week, but Martin Scorsese was in the news for basically saying that Marvel movies and things like that, they're what he calls theme park movies. They're like rides, and they're not the cinema of human beings and emotion and stuff like that. Basically saying that they're not cinema, which got a lot of people pissed off. But I've got to imagine that you probably agree with that sentiment.
Yeah, you might have gotten a lot of people upset, but all those people were morons, so it's okay.
Yeah, I tend to... See, here's the thing. I tend to agree with him. Now, I don't think that... I think every once in a while it's fine for a movie to be, a theme park ride or whatever. It's fine to enjoy some of those movies. There are movies that I like that aren't comic book movies or anything like that I wouldn't consider grand cinema or high art or anything like that. But it's still fun to enjoy them sometimes. But I did think it was funny how much hate... I mean, I guess I get the hate because a lot of people like those Marvel movies. But I don't know. How can you not understand what he's saying and that he's right?
Well, clearly, people who watch those movies are not great at understanding things.
Apparently. Let's see. I think that's all I've got as far as news goes.
I like how each time we bring up the Marvel movies, I just become more and more aggressive in my position.
I think it's awesome.
Eventually, I'm just going to be like, kill them in the streets.
I can't wait until we get some... once we get enough hate mail from Marvel fans, I'm going to read them out on the air. All the hate mail we get.
Just block at AOL.com and you won't have anything to worry about.
Oh, man. The official mail address of anyone that lives in their parents' basement. Oh, all right. So, now we will move on to keeping current with Mike. I almost did it again.
You really want that segment back, I could tell.
No, I really don't. But we'll move on to keeping current with Mike. This is where we plumb the depths of celebrity gossip and everything and try to figure out what's going on with Kim Kardashian and all the NBA players that are dating Kardashians. Blake Griffin,
yes.
Detroit's own Blake Griffin, used to be dating one of them. I don't remember which one.
You know what I like about Blake Griffin? I like the fact that he clearly doesn't want to be here on this team. He wasn't really traded I guess he waived his no trade clause, but he's not a dick about it. He at least pretends he wants to be here.
Yeah, absolutely. I
don't think there's any doubt that he does not want to be here, but I mean, he's just, that's all you have to do. Just be polite about it.
Yep. I still like him.
Yeah. This week in Keeping Current with Mike, we go to...
Yep.
Hold on. I don't know if I brought up that website yet.
It's hotly anticipated.
No, I actually did. It's Bossip.com. It's been a while.
Yay! We're back to Bossip. That's the studio audience.
That's what I thought.
They've been really quiet for most of the episodes, but
Yeah, they were like getting sandwiches and stuff.
so Bossip. What's going on with Bossip?
Congrats. Nicki Minaj weds Kenneth P. Oh, no, hold on. That's cut.
Okay.
Kenneth Petty in super secret ceremony.
So now this was the one that had like abuse allegations against him or something, right?
Oh, I have no idea about that. I know who Nicki Minaj is. She's like a singer or a rapper or something like that. And
Yeah.
she was on SNL before.
That's true. But I think we did a story about him before, and he was like supposedly forcing her to retire from the game or whatever you call it when people rap. But I want to say that there was some bad.
I don't know why. I mean,
things
she's
passed.
clearly the source of she's clearly the source of income in this relationship.
Oh, absolutely. Considering the fact that I've never heard of Kenneth Petty, unless Kenneth Petty has inherited the fortune left by Tom Petty, then yeah, she's definitely the source of income.
Or Richard Petty.
That's true.
I don't think that's the case though. But yeah, so I guess they got married and it was a surprise. I don't know. I thought they were married. I'm not really sure who he is. Maybe we did do a story on this. It sounds kind of familiar. There's something going on with like her marriage. I don't know.
Yeah, it's like he got accused of something, and he worked in the rap industry. I remember there was like, things about him, like meet him or something like that. Oh, when I look him up on Google, so one of the first things that comes up is a Newsweek. Newsweek is doing stories about this now for some reason. 5 fast facts about Nicki Minaj's new husband, Kenneth Petty. He's a child molester. No, I'm just joking. That's a joke. It's a joke. Let's see. According to TMZ, the couple date back to Minaj's high school days. So he met her when she was 16. Now she's 36 and he's 41. So he's 5 years older. So he was 20.
So we got an R. Kelly type situation going on here.
Yeah. They have great chemistry, apparently.
Well, that's good.
Well, that's one of the facts about him. He is a
thanks
registered sex
for the-
offender.
Thanks for the facts, Newsweek. Great chemistry.
Right. He is a registered sex offender. That's one of their facts. Petty is a level 2 registered sex offender.
Damn, he's leveled up.
Yeah. It sounds.
He was so good at being a molester, he went to the next level of molestation.
It sounds like he's bragging.
Yeah.
In 1995, he was found guilty of attempted rape, subsequently serving almost 4 years in prison, according to Us Weekly. Newsweek is getting their sources from Us Weekly.
Wow.
It's
like a big dumpster fire circle jerk going on over there.
Right. The incident took place in September of the previous year, involving a 16-year-old girl.
Was it Nicki Minaj?
No, it was 95. He was also 16 at the time. So he attempted to rape a 16-year-old girl when he was 16, and that's why he's a sex offender.
Level 2?
Yeah, that's true.
Did you say he went to jail?
Yeah, 4 years.
That's crazy. I wonder if he finished high school.
I don't know. More children may be in the couple's future. He's a father of 5, according to Bossip. Newsweek is quoting Bossip.
Oh my god.
I love it. Has reported claims that Petty is the father of 5 children.
Yeah, I wonder who owns Bossip. I bet it's like a big media conglomerate that's just like trying to, look cool.
Yeah.
Like, how like Gawker was like this big like media empire, and they're all like, "Oh, we don't wear shirts to work anymore," or whatever they do over there.
In this picture that they have from Newsweek, Petty is... It looks like... I don't know what gang sign that is. It looks like he's making an okay with his with his thumb.
He's a white supremacist.
No, and it's not that one. But it looks like he's making an okay with his thumb and forefinger, while his middle finger and his ring finger are crossed, and then his pinky finger is splayed out. So it almost looks like West Coast, but instead of the other part, being up, the other finger being up, it's in an okay symbol. So I don't know if that's some sort of modified East Coast thing. I'm pretty sure Nicki Minaj is from New York or somewhere in the East Coast.
I hope you don't start a feud with the Bloods or Crips if you just describe the wrong gang sign.
Yeah, no kidding.
Do you think they have podcasts like the Bloods podcast? That'd be pretty cool. I'd listen.
Welcome to the Bloods podcast.
And then they just fight over ratings instead, and the world would be in peace.
I'd love it.
Whatever.
Unfortunately though, I would listen to the Crips podcast.
Yeah, I wouldn't listen to either of them.
You and I would be mortal enemies.
What do you mean would be? All right, our next headline. Our next headline, and I'm pretty sure I kind of figured out the hashtag. It's hashtag LHHH. I think the first three are love and hip hop. What do you think?
Oh, probably.
But then what's H? Houston? I can't think of any other big cities that start with H. Hades, maybe?
Love and hip hop, Hades. It's Persephone versus Zeus. It's love and hip hop.
What? Why would Zeus be in hell? Oh, I see. Never mind. That was Demeter. What was her name? I thought it was the Demeter or something like that. Was her mother? I don't know.
Demeter was Persephone's mother. Yeah.
Yeah.
Love and Hip Hop Hollywood.
Ah, Hollywood. I should have known. Well, anyways, on Love and Hip Hop Hollywood, Fizz and April, spelled Apryl, kissed on camera for the first time, and the internet is disgusted. That's all in caps.
Wow, Fizz.
I don't know who Fizz is. Is he related to Lil Bub?
Oh my god. Yeah, he's one of Lil Bub's friends.
No, it's like a guy. It's not a cat or anything.
Lil Fizz is an American rapper.
It doesn't say Lil Fizz though. Is this the same one?
Yeah. His real name is
Big Fizz?
Dreux? Dreux? D-R-E-U-X. Dreux?
Drew?
Okay, yeah, probably Drew, yeah. Drew Pierre Frederic. It's French. It's all French. Drew Pierre Frederic, born November 26th, 1985, better known by his stage name Lil Fizz.
Where was he born?
He's an American rapper.
What?
Singer, songwriter.
I thought he was a Frenchman.
Yeah, I know. Best known for being the youngest member and rapper of the R&B group B2K. Formerly, he starred on the television show Love and Hip Hop Hollywood.
Oh man, he was even better than Marquez Houston, the guy who played Roger on Sister Sister, who was also in B2K.
Yes.
Do you ever see that episode of Sister Sister when B2K was on the show? It was very odd.
No, I didn't, but...
I think I know our next dumpster diving then.
Yeah. Sister. No, that's funny. B2K, that's what I called Dennis Rader. The...
BTK.
Yeah, I know, but he chose his own nickname, which I always thought was the lamest thing in the world. So
that's the lamest thing about him that you can think of.
Yeah, I mean, murdering people all over the Midwest, whatever, but choosing your own nickname—that's lame.
That's a sign of a real asshole.
So I decided to call him the Burger King B2K Killer.
If you could pick your own nickname, what would it be?
BTK. That's why I'm really mad.
That's a real reason.
I'm angry that he took it. That's you discovered it. That's the real source of my anger. No, Sarcasmo.
Huh.
I don't know. I can't think of a good one.
I feel that if you like gave yourself the name BTK, there's like you're just putting too many expectations on yourself. I mean,
That's true.
what if you leave and you realize you only bound them and like you killed them, you didn't torture them? It's like you can go back.
Right? Oh, damn it.
And you know me, I'm all forgetful sometimes. It'd be like a real pain in the ass. I have to keep returning to the crime scene. Did I torture this guy? Oh yeah, okay, I see. The electrical wires are frayed.
You'd have to keep leaving yourself notes, and then that's evidence.
And then the good thing about the electrical wires is you can also bind them with them, so you really got two birds with one stone there.
That's true. Electrical wires are the best friend of the BTK killer.
Yeah, he was into that. He was like an alarm technician, I think.
Was he?
Yeah, at one point he was also like a bookkeeper at a church. That's how they found him because he was a complete idiot. He asked the FBI. He goes, "You can't track me this way, can you?" They go, "Nope." He goes, "All right."
He just thought it was on the honor system.
Yeah, well, no, he sent them it was a 3.5 inch like floppy disk, I believe. It might have been a CD, but whatever it was on the he saved it like on a Word document, and the document was registered to the church he worked at. So there was like metadata that said, you know, so and so church this is property of and registered to.
Wow.
Yeah, which is like the most ridiculous thing ever. I mean, yeah, I don't understand why you even choose that medium. It makes no sense.
Telling you. What an idiot.
Oh, Fizz. I don't know which part. I can't really get a good look at April, but I don't know why everyone's disgusted. It doesn't make sense to me. They look normal looking, you know. They're not like weird or something.
Yeah, I don't know. She shares 2 children with Magaya Amri.
Was he also in?
No, I don't think so.
Huh.
I can't find much about April Jones. Her name's April Jones, like
Yes.
like
No,
from,
that's April O'Neil.
like oh yeah. It's funny that you know me that well,
Yeah.
that you knew what I was going for.
Although if she married Casey Jones, which was implied in the movie, not so much in the comics or cartoons, then if they named the girl after her, it would be April Jones.
Yeah, that's I think that's what
That's where you're going.
Yeah, I think that's what I was thinking. Casey Jones and April O'Neil.
Well, anyways, people are disgusted by them for some reason. Our next story, ripped from the headlines, Fighting Words. Gucci Mane reigniting his feud with the Breakfast Club has caused a petty internet meltdown.
Gucci Mane.
He's a rapper.
He's feuding with the John Hughes coming-of-age film, The Breakfast Club.
Yeah, he wanted the Anthony Michael Hall part, but it was too late, I guess.
Yeah, well, that makes sense.
But no, that's like a radio show, probably in New York. I think I have heard of it before. It's like a hip hop kind of like a radio show. But so I don't know why he's feuding with a radio show. I mean, who cares about the radio? It's fucking 2019.
Agreed. Yeah, that's everyone cares about podcasts now.
Right.
Okay, so his real name is Radrick Delantic Davis.
Oh, so you're saying it's not Gucci Mane?
No. But he's known professionally as Gucci Mane. A rapper. He helped pioneer hip-hop, the hip-hop subgenre of trap music.
You know, it might actually be Gucci Man. I can't remember. I don't think I've ever heard someone say his name out loud.
What is trap music?
It's like a genre of music originating from like the southeast area, like, a lot, you know, like Atlanta and stuff. Like a trap house is like another word for like a drug house, so it's like music associated with like, you know, drugs and that kind of stuff.
I'm always impressed by how much you know about this shit. Yeah, so his labels, he's been on 1017 Atlantic, which is his current label, Tommy Boy Asylum, Warner Brothers, and Big Cat. One of his associated acts is 2 Chainz.
Yeah.
Which I loved to say when I dealt craps at the casino. Every time someone rolled Snake Eyes, we'd say 2 Chainz. Chief Keef, Future, Rick Ross, Shawty Low, Soulja Boy, Yo Gotti. Yo Gotti. Now that's Gucci Mane should be hanging out with Yo Gotti. I agree with that. I agree with that friendship. Anyway, so yeah, that's
Yeah,
he's,
yeah, you got into a fight. I don't know what it's about. Something dumb, I'm sure. Petty. I don't know.
well, he's got nice glasses, so I'm gonna side
Yeah, I
with
think
him in this fight.
Yeah, I don't think his signature. I side with him because again, it's 2019 and this is our radio show that
That's
he's
true.
fighting with.
Yeah, they're probably
also is
they
fighting,
probably said something ridiculous to try to get ratings.
Yeah, ridiculous yet 100% censored.
Right?
Like you don't hear he beep beep beep. Oh no.
Oh.
Yeah. All right, so that's all we have for keeping current / educating Mike / Mark this week.
Yeah, it should
That's
be
you.
educating Mark, honestly.
Maybe I learned some too. We all learn. It's a learning experience.
That's right. That's what we're here for. So now we will move on to the Parents Guide game.
Now that I know the true names of 2 out of 3 members of B2K, I can start the ritual.
Yep. So I'll begin. For those of you new to the show, where have you been? But welcome also at the same time. But if you are new, this is where Mike and we find some movies on the Parents Guide on IMDb, and then we read the selection, or we read the guide stuff. You know, the stuff that losers sit here and type into IMDb to warn parents. We read that to each other, and then we try to guess what the movie is. It's a pretty simple game. We never keep score, but we always keep score. I will go first. Under violence, a guy gets electrocuted. This is our new thinking music.
Electrocuted. Shocker.
No, that's a good guess, though, because people do get electrocuted in the movie Shocker. And it's close to Halloween. Oh, by the way, what the fuck? You know, I thought about doing this at the beginning of the show, and then I forgot. And then I thought about it during our Keeping Current with Mike, and then I forgot about it again. But I remember about a year ago today that I opened the show up by talking about famous celebrities that had birthdays today, including Johnny Carson's the only one I remember. But it's Mike's birthday tomorrow. So happy birthday to Mike.
Thank you.
I want everyone to go to Twitter and say happy birthday to Mike after you listen to this. It'll be too late at that point, but do it anyway. All right. Now, here's another one. Another clue. A character is burned to death on screen, and then it says mildly graphic.
Is this Once Upon a Time in Hollywood?
No. Good guess, though, because that does happen in that movie. Here's some profanity. 6, quote, S words. 3, all the profanity is censored for some reason in here. But 6 S words, 3 goddams, some A words and B words, 7 F words.
Well, as we both know, this is the least useful part of the clues. I'm going to go with The Green Mile.
No?
Oh, because the guy gets his head caught on fire and obviously he was electrocuted. I thought that would be it.
Yeah, that is true. All that stuff does happen. Let's see. Here is okay. I don't want to get that one's a little. That one might be a little bit. That'll be down the line because that might give a little bit too much away. A choreographed dance scene takes place in which many female dancers wear tight outfits. That's sex and nudity.
I'm guessing this is one of the Austin Powers movies.
Nope.
Which one? It's none of them? Okay, yeah.
Nope. Let's see. A woman is falsely accused of having sexual relationships with multiple men. I don't know if that's at once or just over the course of her life.
This music kind of sounds like part of the Jaws theme.
A little bit, yeah.
Natural Born Killers.
No. Let's see. Here's under violence and gore. Many people are shot, but it's rarely graphic.
Split.
No. Okay, I'm gonna read this one and see if you get it from this. The main hero smokes a cigar at the beginning. A man makes a snide remark to a large muscular man about being deaf from steroid use. The same muscular man jokes about
Oh,
having
okay.
to
Yeah, the
score
Running
some
Man.
steroids later in the film. That is correct. It is.
Yeah, okay, I can see it, but it also that's a lot of movie. I actually thought of another movie that I think it would make sense because I think in Idiocracy all that happened.
Yeah, I think that's correct.
Yeah, the cigar definitely gave it away.
Oh yeah,
Sometimes a cigar is a clue.
that's true. Sometimes a cigar is just a cigar. Sometimes a cigar is a metaphor for Arnold Schwarzenegger's penis.
I was thinking the other day because I don't know if you heard this. Actually, this maybe should have been in the news. They had I think it was the Alamo Draft House was going to put Terminator 2. They're going to show it before the new one came out.
Okay.
And then as a surprise, they actually played the new Terminator movie for the people who showed up.
Nice.
Yeah, and there's a special introduction by Arnold Schwarzenegger and Linda Hamilton and James Cameron, and I think they even showed up at a couple of the showings.
Oh, that's cool.
But it reminded me of do you remember the part in sorry, it's just funny. Shit. What's the movie called? Last Action Hero?
Yeah.
Where it was Arnold Schwarzenegger is Hamlet.
Yeah.
I would pay to see that movie to this day. That would be the
Absolutely.
best.
I would love to see him as Hamlet.
That's what he says, to be or not to be, and he goes, not to be, and he just shoots a guy. All right. A crazy man wielding an... Oh, actually, hold on. I'm not going to read that one. That one might be a little too...
Okay.
An old man is shown naked, handcuffed to his wife's ankle, but due to the camera angle, no explicit nudity is seen.
Handcuffed to his wife's ankle. Oh. Gerald's Game?
What's that?
Gerald's Game?
No.
All right.
The main female character throws herself at the main male character twice, kissing only.
Huh. Nightmare on Elm Street.
No.
Okay.
Several zombie-like children are shown with blood on their mouths.
Zombie-like children with blood on their mouths. Village of the Damned?
No.
All right.
A man shoots himself in the head, off screen.
Children of the Corn.
No.
Okay.
A woman crawls toward a man with her body twisted. As she twists her back, you hear the snapping of bones, and she laughs in a creepy way.
Huh. Return of the Living Dead?
No.
Okay.
A crazy man wielding an axe is about to kill a man, but is stopped by two policemen who shoot him dead.
Crazy man wielding an axe. Friday the 13th, part 5.
No.
Okay.
No, it's none of the Friday the 13th.
Alright. Yeah, I can't remember
Hey,
any children of that.
A woman touches a man's head. The appearance of the man's front is normal, but as the camera pans over, we see the back of his body, which is a horrid monster / demon merged to him.
Oh! Damn it. I don't know, but I kinda know. This sounds so familiar. Total Recall?
No.
I don't know why this sounds so familiar to me.
I think this one should give it away. A few people go insane after reading a horror book. Their eyes drip blood and their behavior is extremely violent. The radio speaks about the recent outbreak of violence due to such people. At the end of the movie, there are very few people who are still normal. Most of humanity has become mad killers.
So, for those of you that don't know, part of John Carpenter's Apocalypse trilogy or whatever it was called, In the Mouth of Madness.
Correct.
Sam Neill's own. I like that movie.
I know you and I both really like it, but I don't remember it very. I don't remember many of these details. Like the axe thing was a really good giveaway to me, but the rest weren't especially.
Yeah, I remember the guy with the axe because that's his agent.
Right.
Yeah, I remember that part now.
Yeah, it's a very obviously very Hitchcock or Lovecraftian type theme to it, but I really like that movie. I haven't seen it in a long time, but I think you and I are both like into our teens, so I imagine it would hold up pretty well at least. Because I mean, it's not like we were like 5 or 6 where it was like the greatest thing ever, and then now when you're older, it's like completely ridiculous.
Yeah, I watched it somewhat recently, probably about a year ago or so, and it really does it holds. I think I like it better now than I did before.
Yeah, I like that. It's like at its core, it's really a psychological thriller, which is really just like kind of disturbing because it does raise this theme of especially with people nowadays concerned about simulation theory and that sort of thing. It's like how would you know if you were a character in a book?
Exactly. Yep. Yeah, it's the whole thing is very like you said. Obviously, it leans heavily on Lovecraftian stuff, but the whole movie. There's a lot of attention to detail in that movie that I didn't really noticed before, and I just it's Carpenter at his best, I think. And obviously I think The Thing, this book, and then there's one more. I
know my wife and a lot of people love Big Trouble in Little China. I'm not a big fan of it. Is that what you're talking about?
No,
I know a lot of people like it. It's just not for me.
No, I like that movie a lot too, but that's not the other. The Thing is the first one, In the Mouth of Madness, and then there's one that came out after In the Mouth of Madness.
It's something to do with the devil or warlock is something in the title, or maybe something about evil. I know it's like they have Satan and a gem or something weird like that. I've never seen it, but I've read about it.
Yeah, it's and on all those movies, basically, it's extinction level events is what ties them together. It's not the same world or anything like that, but it's just these are all the movies that he made where these are ways that the world could end, basically.
Sure.
But yeah, so on to our main topic today. This week, I watched the new TV show on Netflix called Living with Yourself, starring Paul Rudd. Real quick too, I wanted to. So I'm only 4 episodes into it now. That it's only 8 episodes long, and they're half an hour each, which is nice. I like the length of it. But real quick, I wanted to mention. I don't know if you saw it, Mike, as well. But I watched Paul Rudd on Hot Ones. Yeah,
I saw that too.
Yeah, I thought he was. I like Paul Rudd in general. I don't like every movie he's in. There's lots of movies or TV shows that he's in that I don't necessarily care for. But I like him a lot. As he comes off real genuine and nice in interviews that I've seen him in, and I think for the most part he is a skilled actor. And I think just generally, a decently funny guy.
Yeah, I don't really have any strong feelings toward him either way. I mean, he seems fine. I mean, he was on the Dave Attell / Jeffrey Ross show. What was that called? I don't remember what it was called again.
Oh, Bumping Mics, I think.
Yeah, he was on that, and he was just showed up there, and he was had a bit. He seemed fun on there. I mean, I'm not sure I've seen a lot of his movies. I saw the movie Clueless. He was in years and years ago.
Yeah.
And I think he was in Anchorman, which I saw.
Yep, he was.
And I've seen a lot of the Judd Apatow movies, and I think he's in a lot of those. So yeah, I have seen him, but he's fine. Whatever.
Yeah, and So on
I'm
Hot
not.
Ones,
I'm not gonna go to the movies just to see a Paul Rudd movie.
Right.
That's basically where I'm at with that. But if it was on Netflix for free, I might be. Well, that's a lie because you mentioned what you're gonna watch, and I had no interest in watching it.
but it's funny. One of the things I like about him is he somehow he got Conan to agree to do this. I don't know how he got him to agree to do it, but although I guess Conan probably thought it was funny at the time, and then they just kept going on with it. But he agreed that whatever movie he was promoting, instead of showing a clip from that movie, he showed a clip from the 1980s horrible E.T. ripoff Mac and Me.
Yeah, didn't we watch? Oh no, I'm sorry. I thought you and I watched that. Like there was an episode of Mystery Science Theater 3000 that had it, but I think that was my friend Matt and I. So
Okay.
yeah, it wasn't for this.
No, something we could watch for this, though, I guess.
Yeah, but that's like an hour and a half.
Yeah, no, it's not a good movie either. It's funny. My oldest daughter got it as I think like a gag gift or something. She wanted it for her birthday last month, and her friend, they watched it and like made fun of it and laughed and everything. And she wanted all of us to watch it so she could do the same thing. And I said, "Oh my God, you remind me so much of me." Because at this exact age, that she is 14, my friend Colin and I, we used to do that. We used to go and rent terrible movies and watch it and make fun of them.
Yeah, I don't understand how you can tolerate that. Like some movies are just so bad that I just can't watch them. They're so
Yeah.
terrible.
It's a special gene of that only we carry, I guess.
Yeah, I guess. And Eric Stoner, but he doesn't realize they're bad is the issue with him.
But yeah, I liked him a lot on Hot Ones. Paul Rudd, not Eric Stoner.
Yeah, Eric Stoner has not been on there. He's still trying to figure out the whole bluegrass thing.
Yeah, exactly. But no, I liked Paul Rudd on there. I thought he was a really good guest. I thought it was interesting how he said, when you do interviews, he's like, you kind of get you sort of figure out what you're gonna say because you get asked the same questions all the time and everything. And he said, people will ask me how I got started into comedy, and he said, I used to love Steve Martin's old records and I would listen to them, and that's kind of how I started to get in comedy. And he goes, "Is that true?" Maybe. He's like, sometimes I think to myself, did that really happen, or is it just something that I've been saying like so often for so many years that it feels true, but it didn't really happen?
Yeah, that's weird.
And it's interesting, it's an interesting perspective, I guess, on it. But he also refused to plug anything. Basically, he was like, I don't.
Yeah, I mean, obviously he was there because people would probably look him up and be like, "Oh, he's in this. What's it called? In Alone with Myself or something."
Dancing with myself. No, it's living with yourself.
There you go.
Yeah. But yeah, so obviously he was doing press for that. But I do love how he's just like, I don't really care. I don't want to talk about it.
Yeah, it was a good episode. I mean, they've had really good guests, like really like big names this season, but I don't know. None of the interviews are especially like amazing so far. I mean,
No.
They're okay. I mean, maybe I think I just watched some of the episodes of Hot Ones. It's just like kind of like normal to me. Like, oh yeah, the Shaq one last season was really great.
Yeah, absolutely.
But as far as like ones I could really point out, like I like when they have like a really like arrogant kind of like athlete on there. Like Joel Embiid was on there, and he like kept saying, "Oh, this isn't hot at all," but you get like tears just like pouring out of his face at certain points.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because he was saying like, "Oh yeah, this is nothing. I'm from Africa." He's from like Cameroon, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And he's funny too because like he told all like his teammates that like his parents were like tribesmen and that sort of thing, but they were like they were both lawyers or like a doctor and a lawyer or something like that.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, I like him. He's funny.
Oh my God. But yeah, the show. I watched the first episode with my wife, and we both kind of had the same reaction. We were like, eh. Like, I guess kind of like how you feel about Paul Rudd, where it was like, this is not offensive. I didn't hate it, but do I love it? Like, not really. Carol didn't really necessarily want to watch anymore. I watched the next 3 episodes basically I kind of forced myself to keep watching it in preparation for this. And around halfway through, maybe episode 2 or so, and then it's definitely at the beginning of episode 3, I started to kind of get into the storyline. I think part of the problem is it wasn't what I expected it to be. So like I said, it's half an hour, so it's an easy watch because it's only a half an hour long, and there's only 8 episodes, so it's 4 hours of your time. It's a real easy to binge show. If you're going in expecting, because you see Paul Rudd and you're like, oh, it's going to be like a wacky comedy, or it's not. It's not a comedy at all. It is in no way a comedy. There are some funny things that happen, and there are funny lines, but it's not a comedy in any way. Probably the goofiest thing that happens is, I'll tell you the plot real quick, Mike, or the setup of it. This guy, Paul Rudd, is kind of a loser. It's clear, as we go on in the show, it's clear that he used to be this, like, bright-eyed, bushy-tailed, I'm going to take on the world type of guy. But now he's a loser, and life has completely beaten him down. He's like 45, and he's like, I'm done with everything. And so he's failing at work, he's failing in his marriage, all this stuff. Well, this one guy that was like this loser before at his work, all of a sudden is a superstar there. And he says to him, what, why, how did this happen? And he said, I went to a spa that completely changed my outlook on everything, and I'm going to recommend you because, 1, I'm not worried about the competition from you, like, arrogantly, and 2, I get a 10% referral fee. So, he calls up the number. The guy says it's $10,000 or $50,000. $50,000 to go to the spa, but it will completely change your life. Now, here's the point. Now, obviously, it's a fantastical show. But that's the point when I was like, oh, I don't know if I believe this. Because, the guy had, like, just coincidentally, almost $50,000 in his bank account. He had, like, $49,900 and something in his bank account. So, my thought process was, okay, that's his entire life savings. That's a high bar. I'd really have to believe that this was going to completely change my life and be worth it to go through with this. And they don't, I guess as we go on, it maybe becomes a little more clear why he's willing to take this chance, but they don't set up at the beginning that he's this desperate to do it. So it's like, if it was like $1,000 or something like that, then I could see. But, the more money it is, the higher the bar is for entry, and the more the more hoops you'd have to jump through to, the more desperate you'd need to be to want to go through with it. So I just don't think they did a great job of selling it, but I kind of got over it because, it is a show. So he goes in, there's 2 Korean men there, and they say, okay, we're going to do the spa treatment. They put him in a diaper, all this stuff, and they sedate him and knock him out. And then he's supposed to wake up and be fine. I think it's funny, too. It's in a strip mall. I think it's funny that he just goes to a strip mall and has someone sedate him, and he's okay with that. Just completely knock him out. Just strangers that he just gave $50,000 to. But he wakes up the next day wrapped in plastic, buried in a hole. So he breaks out of that. He runs back to his house. It's miles and miles away, but he finally gets to his house, only to discover that he is there. And what ends up being the case is, they're cloning people. So what they do is somebody comes in, they clone them, they take their DNA and they clone them, but I guess they manipulate their DNA somehow or whatever to make them better. They make them a little bit healthier. It's like it's genetic, like it's gene therapy.
Like the CRISPR kind of things, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So that's what they're doing, and then they kill the original. They say that originally what they did was they would basically chop them up, like chop them up and burn them. But the machine wasn't working to do that, or hasn't been working for a couple months. So they've been forced to gas them and bury them in those graves in the woods. And I guess the gas didn't take effect. He's the first one to live through the thing. So they're upset that he's there, obviously. They offer them a 10% refund, but not a full refund. And that's kind of the setup of the show is, Paul Rudd's been cloned. This cloned version of him is better in every way than he is. And one of the things that's kind of interesting about the show is, the first episode goes through his point of view, and then they meet up, they figure out what's going on, and they do things together, and then they kind of go their separate ways again at one point. Episode 2 picks up from the clone and everything from his point of view when he wasn't with Paul Rudd, and then they come together, and then all the stuff happens together. And each episode does that. It alternates whose point of view it's looking at, which is kind of interesting because it allows you to sympathize with both characters, because they do seem sort of like two separate characters. I would say it's pretty interesting. It's not one of those shows that you're gonna fall in love with, I don't think, but it's pretty interesting, and I think it's worth a watch for most people out there. I mean, I'd give it a very soft recommend. Give it a couple episodes, and if you don't like it after the first couple, I mean, then you're probably, or if you're not interested in continuing watching, you're probably not going to watch it. But what I was going to say is the goofiest thing that happens, and the most comedic thing. Everything else is well, not everything else, but most everything else is fairly serious. But the first time he's going to go in there, when he's actually getting cloned, he doesn't know he's getting cloned, but he looks in, and the door opens, and Tom Brady walks out. And
what?
He kind of looks at him, and he's like, he looks at Tom Brady, looks at him, and he goes, "First time," and he says, "Oh my gosh, you come here? Is it your first time?" And he goes, "No, sixth," and then drives off because the joke being he's won 6 Super Bowls, so he's
right.
But anyway, that's funny.
So they murder him after each Super Bowl and make a new Tom Brady.
Yeah, exactly. So the Tom Brady
have you ever seen the movie The Sixth Day with Arnold Schwarzenegger?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly. It's very similar. But yeah, so the Tom Brady that was part of Deflategate doesn't exist anymore. He was murdered.
So I guess that is a fair enough punishment.
Yeah. And they transfer their memory too. No explanation how they do that. They just say it's a straight memory transfer, which clearly obviously this whole thing's ridiculous. Although we're getting closer to being able to clone human beings. I mean, they might be able to right now. I don't think to a point where you clone someone and they're instantly the same age and everything. I think they'd have to start as a baby.
Yeah,
again.
Probably.
But
unless you could have kind of blanks, and then you could just insert the stem cell / genetic programming at a certain point.
Yeah, that's possible, I suppose. But I don't know how close they are actually to that. I know they're getting closer, but I have no idea how you take someone's entire memory and transfer it to another person or another entity, to a clone. Because
I guess if the brain is really a physical construct where we get all our thoughts from, if you could perfectly replicate it, then it would technically have the same thoughts. If thoughts, in fact, are, they say if you learn something, it creates a wrinkle in your brain or whatever.
Yeah.
And if our thoughts also affect and change our brain, then I guess it's possible, but it just seems very odd.
Yeah, and I don't know how they get if there's coding, genetic coding or information. I don't know. I'm not well versed enough to know how it works. So
I'm gonna guess that the people who made the show don't either, so let's not think too hard on it.
Yeah, they really do kind of gloss over it. I don't think it's supposed to be something that you're supposed to really think that hardly about or hard about.
Yeah, I'm fine with it. I'm perfectly fine with there being like a completely different dimension, or like alternate reality where like magic exists and that kind of stuff. But I just hate that if you create a world such as that and then break your own rules, that's what really bothers me. So I mean, if they just kind of gloss over it, like say like, oh, here's a cloning device, that's fine for me as far as my tastes of your.
Yeah, me too. I mean, I'm the same way. That's what I've said that many times. That's the only thing I care about is internal consistency. So it's like
Exactly.
like in the movie Back to the Future or something like that. They're like, or any time travel movie. Honestly, you could pick apart any time travel movie, but as long as you establish what the rules are and then you adhere to the rules in your universe, I'm fine with it.
Yeah, that's a perfect example because like a movie with like Back to the Future, I've never once really contemplated how the flux capacitor makes you able to go back in time. It never really. I mean, you put plutonium in it and you could go back in time. Whatever, that's fine for me. But like a movie like Primer, which is like a movie about time travel, and it's like it has this like it's just known for being like one of the most like realistic time travel movies out there. I mean, like if they really flubbed like the logic or consistency in that, it would really bother me because that's the entire premise of the movie is time travel. If you mess up a movie that's all about, because Back to the Future is not really about time travel. It's just like an element to get you back. Oh look, I'm in the 50s. Like we discussed before. There's like a craze for the 50s and the 80s for some reason we don't understand.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, so that was what I watched, the Hot Ones episode and the first 4 episodes of Living with Yourself. What did you watch anything, Mike? Anything in particular?
I've been watching the new episodes of Always Sunny in Philadelphia and also the new episodes of South Park. The South Park episodes, they're okay. I mean, I don't know. I don't think the show is terrible, but I mean, it's not really. I don't like ever go back and rewatch. I mean, every so often they'll have an episode that just like nails it. Like a hilarious episode. But I mean, in general, it's just like whatever. I just want to see what they have to say about current events. Really, is why I watch it.
Gotcha.
And then Always Sunny in Philadelphia. The episode this week was Frank was choking to death, and nobody in the gang went to save him. But then this waiter who's a recurring character did. And then it was a bunch of playing off that, why didn't they save him? And it kind of revealed. It was a fun episode. It was pretty good. But yeah, that's all I really watched. I watched a lot of what I watched was for our next 2 segments.
Oh, okay. Yep. Yeah, exactly. Me too.
I was playing a lot of Fortnite too. That's the issue because the new season 2 came out or whatever it's called. Not season 2, but 2.0, and that was a lot of fun.
I've never played it.
Yeah, I like it. Which I mean, usually get bored of games like that pretty quick, but this one I still enjoy it.
That's cool.
And my youngest daughter, after playing it for almost a whole year, finally got her first kill. So that was a big moment for her.
Nice. That's awesome.
Yeah, oh my god, watching her play the game is the most infuriating thing I've ever experienced in my entire life. It's basically her looking up at the sky and then kind of slowly because when we play it's if your character gets killed then you switch to the next person. And so she'll just wander around and chop down trees and oh, how do you do this, and it's the same way last time, and she doesn't get any weapons, so it's the way the game works is when you get killed you respawn. So I'll be halfway through the game and I'm by everybody else and I just have no weapons suddenly. It's oh, okay, this is fun.
That's awesome.
Yeah, not really. But yeah, that's all. That's pretty much what I did viewing wise this week. Back to you.
All right. Yeah, my son he likes Fortnite and he plays it, but I have yet to play it with him. But
Gotcha.
And my youngest daughter, will play it with him sometimes as well, which is funny because she's sort of the same way I think, where she's not exactly sure what's going on. I do.
Exactly. Before
we end, I guess there are 2 things coming up. One comes out on Friday. The other one starts tomorrow. That I kind of want to watch. Well, I'm definitely going to watch them. I don't know if you'd have any interest in watching them or not, but if you do, we could talk about them on here. The first one is the Dolomite movie with Eddie Murphy is coming to Netflix on Friday.
I was going to say no until you said Eddie Murphy. That might be interesting.
Yeah, I heard like it's not Dolomite. It's not like a remake of Dolomite. It's about I can't Richard what's his name? I can't think of his name.
Richard Pryor?
No, the guy that created
Oh,
Dolomite.
Rudy, was it Rudy Ray something?
Yes, Rudy Ray.
Rudy Ray Moore.
Yeah, Rudy Ray Moore. So it's about Rudy Ray Moore's life, and Eddie Murphy plays Rudy Ray Moore. I think it's just called Dolomite, but it's coming to Netflix on Friday, and I'm really interested because everything I've heard about Rudy Ray Moore's life is like sort of crazy. Like he's kind of a nut, like not in a mean or bad way or anything like that, just like a very eccentric person. And I'm interested to see Eddie Murphy kind of back, in...
Yeah, I kind of feel that he's back to making good movies now because he's doing Coming to America 2, which I would assume since he's so like... I think a lot of his, hesitance to go back on the road doing stand-up is that he doesn't want to be bad.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
And, like, Coming to America, in my opinion, is probably his best movie. I mean, it's my favorite. That doesn't mean it's the best. But, I mean, it's a really good movie with him. I mean, I don't think he would... I would think, at least, he's not the type of person who would try and tarnish its legacy by, Dr. Dolittle, like, that was just a movie he got paid to do, It's not like it's something he's really super, involved with, I would think, from, like, a writing perspective.
Yep.
And then I keep hearing, I mean, there keeps being, which, is grammatically correct, of course.
Yeah.
I keep hearing rumors that, like, he's going to be doing, like, a stand-up special for Netflix. So, I mean, this is also on Netflix. So maybe this is him coming back. And that would be quite the coup if Netflix gets a, top of his game Eddie Murphy and a new movie and also a new stand-up special.
Absolutely. Yeah, I would love to see a Netflix stand-up special from Eddie Murphy.
Yeah, I mean, Netflix. I don't know if you heard. This is another probably going to go on the news part. Was they're trying to raise $2 billion more in funding?
Yeah,
because they just have to produce so much content. Now we have all these other competitive stations going, basically all stealing what they're doing and trying to make it their own.
Yep.
So it's just kind of like crazy. I can only imagine what we're going to see in the next few years as they really battle it out.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be insane.
We're going to get like $5 Netflix, but there will be commercials, and then Disney will be like, oh, $3 this month, we'll probably something crazy.
Yep, yeah, absolutely. And then, like I've said, I don't know if I've said it on this podcast or not, but I've said it on other podcasts. If you...
Other podcasts?
Yeah, well,
what?
The podcast... The podcast I do with Carol, and then, if I think a couple other podcasts I might have guested on. I might have said something, I'm not sure. But if you are a writer in any capacity, or if you want to get into writing screenplays or anything like that, teleplays, do it now. This is your time. This is your time period to write that TV show or write that movie, because all these places, Netflix and Hulu and the Peacock and CBS All Access and HBO Max and Disney Plus, all of them are hungry for content. They need original content. They need so much original content to fill up, all the different their different needs. So if you do any of that stuff,
they're just throwing stuff at a dartboard, mind you. There's the majority of shows on all these networks are terrible.
Yep.
There's tons of bad shows on these. I mean, you could just try.
Yep. Yeah, you'll sell something. I'm telling you, you will.
Just a quick poll to the studio audience. How do you feel about Mark's betrayal back there?
Aww.
Yeah, I kind of felt like that too.
Aw, I'm sad. Sorry, guys.
I think that was the you being sad, not the you being forgiven, by the way.
Aw. All right. Then the other thing that I want to watch is the season 2 of Castle Rock comes out tomorrow. On Hulu.
Yeah, I saw that was coming out. I know you watched it. I didn't really watch it. I don't know how. If it's not, I'm sure it's not going to be strictly like by the Stephen King books. I'm sure it's a lot of like, playing around with like, the tropes and archetypes from his stuff. Like, oh, here's that Frank Dodd guy, and it won't make any sense to me as a fan of his work. So I know you're a much bigger fan than I am, But to me, that would probably bother me more than anything else.
What, watching it?
Yeah, the fact that I'm sure it's not like, in the exact order or, way that it's presented in the book.
Well, they're original stories. So, like...
Oh, okay, I thought like Frank Dodd was in it for some reason.
I don't think so, no.
Oh, okay.
So
But I mean, did you like the first season?
Yeah, the first season was really good. I liked the first season quite a bit, actually. It takes place in Castle Rock, like the show takes place in Castle
Rob Reiner's
Rock.
film company.
But it takes place at Castle Rock from Lord of the Flies. No, it takes place in the town of Castle Rock, but they're all original stories, and it's an anthology show. So the first season was
I might watch it.
Yeah, the first season was one self-contained story, and this season is going to be another original self-contained story that just takes place in Castle Rock. Now this one on Hulu, they do it differently. You can't binge it. They release one episode a week, like the olden days. So
yeah, I hate when they do that. Just let me watch it all at once.
Mm-hmm.
Get out of here. I'm living in the future, Hulu. Go back to your fucking wires and cords.
Oh yeah, your coaxial cables and your cathode ray tubes.
Get out of here. Your commercials are bad enough.
Yeah, but that's so I'm interested in watching both those things. So whatever of that you want to watch, you can watch.
Yeah, I might watch Castle Rock. I tried watching The Watchmen yesterday, but I think I was so angry while I was watching it about the fact that it existed that I didn't really pay any attention. I was just very mad at the whole show.
Uh-huh.
Like I was like just seething with rage that they would even create it. Like the whole time I was just thinking about how mad it made me.
Yeah, I didn't even try to watch it.
Yeah, I read a review that said it was pretty good, but the review was completely stupid because it said, unlike the original Watchmen, here's Easter egg. This one has Easter eggs. The entire fucking premise of the whole thing was that there were Easter eggs everywhere. That's Alan Moore's principal complaint that you shouldn't turn into a movie is because you get to see so many small nuances in the comic that you don't get to see if you're just being ripped along the visual images.
Exactly.
Ugh.
Well, anyway, that is our
I'm Suter Kane, and this has been Massive Late Fee.
And I am bleeding from my eyes right now.
Amongst other places.
Ooh, shots fired.
Oh man, my sound effect thing died.
Aw. That's not very nice, audience.
Boo.
All right. Anyway, that is our episode for the week. Join us next week. Tell some friends about Massive Late Fee, and I don't know, do all the shit that you're supposed to do. Why? Why do you make me do this every week?
Watch a horror movie. It's October. Go watch a horror movie. Read the book The Poet by Michael Connelly. Do something scary.
Exactly. Do that, and then have fun. Well, we'll talk to you again before. Will we? I guess the next one comes out.
Yes, the next one will come out on Devil's
Halloween.
Night.
Oh, is it Devil's Night?
Oh, no, you're right. It comes out on Halloween.
It'll come out on Halloween.
Yeah, so we should definitely watch some Halloween themes. I don't know if you've noticed, my parents' guide ones for this month have all been like horror movie related.
Yeah, I noticed that.
Yeah, so.
Yeah, we'll watch some.
Maybe I'll watch. We'll watch Castle Rock. I'll watch it too.
Yeah, Castle Rock is definitely spooky. If you want to watch.
And the John Carpenter movie was called Prince of Darkness.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yes.
I just remembered.
If you want to watch any other spooky stuff, we'll talk about it off air, and then we can figure it out.
Yeah, watch Spooky Buddies. B-Dog, represent.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, you guys have a good week. We will see you next time. Bye.
See you later.